Hello everybody and welcome back to Purbeck Valley Farm. So this is episode number 2. Episode number 1 didn't really go the way I wanted it to because I was very tired. I had been very busy with some other work that day, and yeah, the timing was just pretty bad. But today I can quite safely say that I am awake, which is good. Now if I wasn't dreaming in the previous episode, I think I did actually put some fertiliser on the grass fields. So because we're now progressing through spring, you can see the leaves are just starting to appear on the trees, and the hedgerow is changing colour. The hedge is definitely greening up very nicely. We can get into these grass fields and start mowing them. You can see there's a bit of grass here. It's not that long, but there's enough just to start things off, because we need to get the cows here. It's very important that we can get them here, but we can't get them here without the food. Now the base food, the minimum food that we have to give them, is just simply silage. Obviously they want to have turtle mix ration, but silage is okay just to get them going. So we can do that. We have silage pits. We don't need to buy any kind of silage, well, a baler, a bale wrap or anything like that. We can just quite simply pick it up and tip it. So we're going to do both these fields. I'll get this gate opened ready. We'll do this field first, and then we'll progress into here. And we might actually do some other fields as well. It just depends how we go. Now I know I did have quite a few people asking how many episodes I'm going to do on this series, and I think I'm going to aim at 40. 40 is a good number. Obviously it depends what's happening at the time. Like if there is a huge announcement of some new game, which I seriously doubt, then yeah, that would change it, or like a big map or something. But yeah, I think the next Farming Simulator game is quite a long way away. It's not even been announced, so I don't think it's going to get in the way of any of these upcoming series. I would probably guess it's going to be like October 21, so quite some time away. So here we are in the class Arian 660. What we're going to do is we're going to get attached to some mowers, but we don't have them yet. We do own a mower, it's down here, but I don't want it. I know, very ungrateful of me. Now I want to go for the Caverland or under the Vicon, I don't know, either way, they're in the Caverland DLC, and they're very good because they actually create a really good swath. Similar to what the Krone Big M does, so it's very useful. But we're going to get it sold. And it's not the only thing we're going to sell today. We actually do have to sell the John Deere tractor. I ran a vote on this yesterday, and well, the vote hasn't finished yet, but there was a clear lead on yes, we should sell it. So we are going to. We'll probably get another John Deere tractor very soon at some point, or maybe it'll be a John Deere harvester, I don't know. We start off with the New Holland combine. We are going to have to upgrade it soon. We don't have a huge amount of arable land yet, but eventually it is going to become a bit much for that combine harvester. Plus it is the starting off combine, so it's kind of overused. So we can definitely try out some other modded combines and stuff very soon. But today it is all about the grass. We need to get that grass in the pit, compacted down and covered over so that we can ferment it to give to the cows. So actually we are going to have a fairly large amount of money coming in just a second, but these mowers are not cheap. They are pretty expensive. But it's worth it. Instead of just buying some cheaper ones and then having to row it all up and stuff, yeah, well, by the time you've done all that with the hours, with the labour and stuff, you might as well have just gone for the big mowers. I think we can run them. Shouldn't be a problem. I forget exactly what I said in the video which I published, the episode number 1, because like I said, I retook it about 15 times, and that's not exaggerating. I know certainly in one of my attempts I did say that there was quite a close comparison between this Arian and I think it was the Axion. Yes, it was this one here. The bottom spec Axion is 205 horsepower, and the top spec Arian is 205 horsepower, so exactly the same. However, this is £150,000 and the Axion is £184,000, so you are paying quite a bit more for the same horsepower. Then again, it probably does more features, and it's also probably heavier and better at running ploughs and stuff. But yeah, I just wasn't really in a position to go for the bottom of the range Axion. If we were going to get the Axion, we'd have to go for a much bigger one to make it worthwhile. But yeah, like I said, I explained that, but I think I probably cut it out of the final edit. In fact, I don't think I ever struggled so much with recording a video. I don't know why. I think it's because I have been so excited about doing this map, I don't want to sort of mess it up. Because it is amazing. It just brings back so many memories of Knaveswell from 15. Okay, so that's good. Please let me sell. Usually you can repair it to sell it. Okay, that's weird. I've probably done something weird there. Well, not to worry. My viewers have probably noticed something that I did wrong. We'll try and sell the John Deere. As I've said, I've got nothing against this tractor. It's a good tractor. But because it is a base game tractor, by now it is kind of overused. It's been here since the beginning, which, believe it or not, was 18. Hang on, what? This must just be a modifying place. Can't be for selling. There must be another sell point somewhere. Anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. We don't need to get into it. Yeah, I should think there is. No, don't know. Anyway, yeah, we can afford it. We don't get as much, but I suppose we could just do it this way. 119,270. That's fine. 99,390. They do take a bit off, don't they? Wow. Well, there we go. I've added the money in. Well, roughly I have anyway. It was pretty much 20%. I think that's what it takes. 20%. It's a huge chunk of money. Anyway, we must take a look here in the Caverland category, and we will get it bought. Unless, of course, it's actually in the Vicon category. Which it looks like it is. Yes, there it is. It is the Vicon Extra. Although you can brand it as a Caverland, so I think I will do, because that's a little bit more unique. It's not the default. And then we have this one here, which we'll also brand as the Caverland. It requires 200 horsepower. There was actually a modification on that as well. Oh no, we'll stick with the default. That's fine. So yeah, we kind of shouldn't be able to run this, but then again, we'll see. We are going uphill though, so that is a bit of a concern. I'm just pleased that we own them outright. And yeah, because we do have so many machines, we can just get rid of some and then upgrade. Okay, so we're on the way back. We have left a front weight in the shop yard. Next time we're over there with the tractor and we have an available 3-point linkage, we'll just stick it on, probably on the front. In fact, we will be going over there because we need to get a forage wagon. I don't actually do much forage wagoning, if that's a term. Forage wagoning. Anyway, yes, you get what I'm saying. I don't do much of it, and I think it would be good to get back into it. The other thing which I don't do much of is actually using the pickup on the front of a forager, or indeed using a trailed forager pickup thing. I do want to get into that a lot more in this series. We can definitely do it, but I think today, just because we're sort of desperate to get the cows here, we should just use the forage wagon. We'll get it picked up that way. Now this is also our field on the left hand side, but it doesn't really look like it's grown that much. The other fields have grown much more. Oh yes, and the county tractor, which I got almost straight away after it was released, it has been commented, well, it's been noted by a few people that it has very large wheels at the front. Well, it does. It is supposed to have that. I believe actually the wheels are exactly the same size on the front as they are on the back, and it is a thing that County did. It's based on the Ford. So yeah, somebody said just keep it, but just put the normal wheels on. Well, those are the normal wheels. You can't put the small ones on, so that's just the way it is. I think I quite like it. I think, well, it is quite hard to turn sometimes, but overall it's pretty good. I haven't got a complaint with it. Okay, So here we are. Let's just get this gate closed. Then we're going to start with the small field, and we'll move across because the gate is open. That is, of course, if it can run this. I really hope it can. We're going to go for a good swath. I think, yeah, just to play it safe, I'm going to start going downhill. Even though what goes down must come up. That works in reverse too. Now, my pedal is actually quite squeaky, but I'm going to keep it like that because it's good. It's kind of realistic. Okay, are we set on to... Oh yes, I've got the real Mower Mod, but it's not really relevant for this field. We have no weeds. No, it's not grown enough. I thought it would have done. Okay, well in that case, we're going to have to rest because I've got nothing else to do. I suppose it is a bit wet anyway, so maybe the next day is going to be even better. Well, hello viewers, and welcome back. Yes, I have been stood here for a while, but look at this lush grass. I think it's well, it looks like a different texture, much denser. It looks good. I'm just going to turn off the depth of field. There we go. It probably doesn't make much of a difference for the video, but for me, you don't get that blurriness on the horizon. After all this, it probably won't even be able to cut it. Right, so let's begin. I need to put this into a swath. So we're currently on wide spreading. Swath dropping. Well, obviously downhill is not a problem. Oh, that is so good. Such a good setup. Now this is the smallest field, so it is going to seem small in here, but our other fields are much larger. Yeah, is it me or is the grass on here, it just seems much better than other maps, the texture? No offence to the other maps, but I think we should be able to mow these weeds. It turns out that we do have some weeds here. And that is the speed that we can do uphill. 3 miles per hour. So that is it then. We're going to have to look for a bigger tractor, I suppose, because we are on seasons and we've only owned this tractor for half an hour. We could return it for almost the same amount as what we paid for it, what we bought it for, and then we could go for an Axion or something, a high-spec Axion. It's annoying because it's close, it's very close. It's almost got the right amount of power. And it's a nice tractor, that's a shame. I think these two fields here are the steepest on the farm, so this is the real test for it. It's all downhill. That makes it easy. Shame we have to go back up again. I'm definitely going to keep a class tractor, but I think we are going to have to swap it. Probably best that we do it now before we put too many hours on it. Just lift those mows. I'll just finish this field. But you were good while we had you, Class Arian. It's a shame you couldn't work in more than one field. I would like to keep it as well as another one, but that would mean getting rid of the county already. And the county's good. Well, this is good, but we're going to replace it with another one. Another class. That's the one thing I didn't really factor into the equation when buying the new tractors. I didn't think that we'd have to have higher horsepower for the actual landscape, because, yeah, it's real rolling countryside around here. Lots of hills and stuff. But we can't have this. We can't be mowing at 1 mile per hour, because that is just crazy. Right, okay. So I'll just drop these off, and I'll very quickly go and take it back over to the store. And then we can choose the new one. Well, this is our opportunity to take the weight back at least. You see, this one I can sell. £146,000. Very good. Okay, so we now have £428,000. These tractors are not cheap, and I know there are 2 categories of Axions, unless they are just in both. We have the 870 to the 800, whatever that means, and the 960 to the 920. Okay. So maybe it's probably a bit too big for this map actually. Yeah, I think Yeah, we'll go for this one over here. I think if we go for a sort of top spec or close to top spec, 295 horsepower, that should be good. That should be absolutely fine. £230,000, we'll do it. There we go. So we've gone from the top spec of the Aryan range to the top spec of this particular Axian range. Well, there we go. That's our opportunity to take that. I'm just going to dump it in the yard somewhere. We'll turn off this mini HUD. There we go. And then we can properly start mowing. Oh, maybe I should take this opportunity to get a forage wagon too. Well, it only seems right, doesn't it? A class tractor on a class forager. Loading wagon. It is a little bit on the big side, but it is, I would say it's possible to still get it around the corners and stuff. It's just going to take a bit of driving skills. I'll have to go and find some. Yeah, we'll go for that. That should be good. So we have the horsepower. Thing is, they are big and you can get the smaller ones, but they fill up so quickly that it gets frustrating. So we're going to go for this. So we're now down to £56,000, but that was money well spent. It takes me back once again to that topic of used machinery. If only you could, like this, would still want to have modern machinery, but then if there was some sort of nearly new, so it's lost some of its value, but it's not as expensive as a brand new one out of the factory. Maybe it's got 200 hours on it. We could have saved a fair amount of money, and then we'd still have more money left. Because that's how it works when you're saving money. I do say some funny things. Anyway, hopefully the next FS will have new machinery and used machinery and vintage machinery. You sort of move from used to vintage, and then you have the ones where it's hard to even use them because they're so rare and old. You feel bad for using them. Now very soon we are going to have to figure out which field we're going to put the new sheds in, because I need to put some new storage sheds up. It has to be a flat field. For now I'm just going to leave this here. We'll come back to that in a minute or two. So what I'll do is I'll just show you really quickly how it performs going uphill, and then I think we can just very quickly time lapse. And I would also say we are going to cut another field. We'll go for probably field number 51, which is nearby. Well, it seems like hard work just to get all this mowed, but it's just these teething problems. We are now ready to properly get mowing. This was our test field. It should be good. Going uphill with it all switched off, it's fine, but you'd expect that. Right, this is it. I'm trying to make the most of it too. We need to get right into the hedgerows, although I don't want the weeds, but if we cut them all out, then next time they shouldn't be there again. If only it was true in real life. I don't think cutting them is going to stop them from growing. Oh, bit of a dip there. Hidden dip. Okay, so how is it going to perform going uphill? It should be fine. It wanted 200 horsepower plus the front mower, so we'll be giving you that. And then you just need a bit more power to propel the tractor. Well, that beats 1 mile per hour, or 2 miles per hour. 7, 6, 5 maybe? It's good enough, that's fine. It is amazing how much power it takes. But yeah, that's not a problem. We can do that. It just goes to show how far off I was with the first selection. Right, so we've definitely got the right setup. Let's crack on. We'll do this field and the other field. Okay, well we've almost finished this field, and yeah, I would just struggle to go back to any other mower because it's so good. Creating this swath, and you can do the even spread as well. I know that when these DLCs come out, you get quite a few people saying it's just a load of rebranded machinery. All they've done is change the stickers on them. Well, they are different. For example, we've got the fast baler in the Caverland pack, and this mower, I suppose because mowers are, they're pretty similar. They always look fairly similar because that's what they are. But no, there are differences, and you are getting stuff in the DLCs. However, I do agree with people who say it would be nice if we got more for our money, and also it would be good if we got a new map and stuff, especially for Platinum Edition when they did the class DLC. There was no new map, and that was a bit disappointing. But no, I don't really agree with the rebranded implements that you get, because they're not really. They're new models and stuff. But anyway, yes, we mustn't discuss things like that because it would probably start some kind of argument. Right, let's just close the gate and we will head back to the farm. We'll pick up the forage wagon. I need to change the field of view on the first person. But I think there we have just cut a huge amount of grass, really. It's going to be plenty when it's in the pit. And then we'll have the silage. Now this area brings back so many memories. I remember cutting that field there with a class tractor. It was a modded class tractor because class wasn't a licensed brand for FS at the time. I think it probably wasn't Arian, or maybe it was an Axos or something. It was a fairly small tractor. Now, where can I put these mowers? These sheds up here are good, but they're a bit too tight. I think what I'll do is I'll put it down here. If we fit. Well, I hope we do fit, because I've got to bring the forage wagon through here. There we go. Yeah, it's a good shed for it. Oh no, it wants to unfold. I think we can probably drop it as it is. There we go. Okay, so we will go and attach to the loading wagon, and we'll start to fill up one of these two pits. I think probably the one with the massive... Actually no, there's not going to be much space. We'll probably go for the one with the feed mixture in then. There we go. Okay. I've put the feed mixture in there. Should be a good place for it. And we're going to have to drive round to go and pick it up because it's actually blocking the track. Let's begin. And again, it's one of those jobs which is going to be much better as a time-lapse, but I think just to begin with, I will do it in real time because I want to see for myself how quickly it fills up and also what it is like to get in and out of the yard. Last thing I want to do is start failing in the time-lapse. I need to plan my route. But as for field number 51, there is another field entrance, well, another gateway for that field in 82, so that would probably be a much more sensible way of going, because I'm never going to get this around that corner. It looks like 5 miles per hour is a fairly standard speed for running a PTO implement uphill, which makes sense. Yeah, it must be really hard on the tractor. All the farms which are on hillsides, it must be quite slow work. Fun going downhill though. So that's 25%, and we have a gate. I'll pick that piece up last. Yeah, looks like we might fit the majority of the field in. But already, 18,000 litres. That is a lot of food. If that was silage, that would be plenty of food for a long time. We need to make sure we pick up as much as possible. I don't want to be missing anything. Okay, 86%. Very close to full. But it's not going to fill it, so we'll have to be heading back up again. Although I am debating whether or not I should switch it off and then go up the hill without it switched on, since it is very heavy now and it is struggling. Although it's struggling with it switched off too. Still, beats 2 miles per hour. This will soon fill it up. Flying down this swath. That's a good load. It's going to be 55,000 litres. So let's go and dump it. Let's dump the first load. 53,000 litres. I don't think there's going to be an issue with getting around the corner, but I do remember it as being a very bad turning. So we'll see. I think with a shunt or two, we should be fine. Look at that. Yeah, if I was approaching from that angle, it would be absolutely no problem at all. We've got tail swing, and we've got a clearance issue here. Luckily, we've also got a solution. If I just reverse around the corner, that solves that problem. And then from here, it's easy. Yes, I am very pleased that I didn't go for a smaller loading wagon. It wouldn't have been worth it. Let me know, is the squeak that you can possibly hear annoying? It is the brake pedal. For me, it's quite immersive, but I don't know what it's like in a V. It might be really annoying. Right, so if we can get 3 full loads, I don't know if we will do, that would be good. We could have one either side of that, and it will keep it fairly level. So, let's crack on. We'll get everything completed. And I think this is the best way to go. Well, here we are back at the field, just picking up the final load. We have 3 swaths left to do, and then we're going to call it a day. But I'm just trying to think of things which some people might mention in the comment section. One is the windrower. One thing which might be mentioned is not needing it because we have a mower which can swath. Well, we do need to keep it, I think, because otherwise we're not going to be able to swath the hay. So if we do some hay, we have to ted it, that spreads it out everywhere, and then we have to row it back together again. So yeah, we need to have the windrower for that. But yeah, we don't need to have anything fancy, we don't need any big windrowers. And the other thing was, I've just forgotten. That's typical. I can't remember. Oh yeah, that field over there. I know quite a few people mentioned that in the previous episode, saying it was a nice field and stuff, and I'm not too sure if you can have cows in there or not, but it was definitely mentioned. It's field number 47, I think. Yes, it looks good. So in the next episode, we're going to compact this down, then we can get the cover over, get it fermenting. But that's pretty good. We've got loads and loads of grass there. 3 fields, not bad at all. Right, let's head back. I'm just trying to perfect my reversing. You can't get around there in one go, but it's very easy if you back up. Just over here. I never leave myself enough space on the back. That's probably the best place to go to. Then you have plenty of turning around space. Yeah, that's good. On the previous occasion, I was way too close to the sheds. And there we go. So how much is there? Over 150,000 litres, 151, pretty much 152. Well, we're going to be able to sell some of that, and then we can hopefully get the cows. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.